This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Listen guys, so today we will discuss about goods and service tax. Goods and service tax. What type of goods and service tax? It is usually called as GST. This is usually called as GST, which is called as goods and service tax. So it is an indirect tax. It is an indirect tax. Why this is called as an indirect tax? Any tax that a business, a trader, or the service provider, one who is doing, and one who is collecting taxes while making a sales of services or goods. When he collects that and he pays to the department, that is government, to the government. Now we can say it as GST portal. GST portal in the sense GST website. He has to pay the GST website. Each and every person will get, person in the sense a trader, a business. Each and every business will have their own login ID, to pay the tax. How they'll pay, what they'll pay, that we will discuss later. First, we will understand what is GST exactly. So now, as a tax will be collected when I'm making a sales, I'll be paying to the this department, GST department. Why I'm saying this as an indirect tax? Any tax that a business is making, any tax that a business is collecting while making a sales, they'll be paying to the government, and this government in the sense Indian government will use a tax which is collected by a business. Okay, will use this tax amount which is collected by a business. How they'll be using? They'll be using for central and state government. Okay, they'll be using for central and state government. So in that case, we call this as indirect taxes. So when this GST was started in our India, it was started on 1st of July. 1st of July 2017 onwards. 2017 onwards, that is 1st July 2017 onwards, in India, GST has been started in practice. That means we started to collect goods and service taxes from this date. So when this actually so this was introduced, means we started to use in this, but the history says that the introduction of GST council meeting was started in the year 2000. In the year 2000, they started a meeting. Okay, this meeting was held by Prime Minister Vajpayee. They had a meeting. They discussed why not we combine all this indirect taxes into one single tax and make this as one nation and one tax. One nation and one tax. Why this was used, one nation and one tax? Since we are having an indirect tax, and this indirect tax is having lot of taxes. There are many list of indirect taxes. All this has been combined. We merged everything together and we made it as goods and service tax. So this was started in the 2000 year. Finally, in 2016, they have decided, yes, we will introduce this GST. And after they have decided, in the year 2017, 1st of July, officially GST was announced. We started to practice. Okay, this is a history. So what type of indirect taxes and all we had? We had a VAT. Why this VAT was used? This was for the trade. Trade means sales and purchase. Sales and purchases when I'm making within my state. And CST, Central State Tax. Central State Tax. Same thing for trade. Trade when I'm making a purchase or sales with other state. Purchase or sales with other state. In that case, I'll be using CST. Okay, in that case, I'll be using the CST. And then CEN-VAT. CEN-VAT. What does the CEN-VAT mean? Central VAT. It is central VAT. Central VAT. Central Value Added Tax. This was on manufacturing a product. When I'm manufacturing a product inside my factory, there is no tax. After manufacturing, when I make a sales to the wholesaler or when I bring this finished product to my godown, in that case have to pay this send VAT. At the same time, this manufacturing goods, if I'm making a sales, if I'm making a sales or purchases of this related product, then I'll be paying excise duty. Excise duty, or when I'm making a sales or purchases with the other country, then it is when I'm importing from the other countries, then I have to pay import duties. Import duty. The same way you would have seen about this luxury tax, all this says so many taxes are there, and there was one more tax called service tax. When I'm a service provider, what type of service provider? Courier service, postage service, repair and maintenance, hotels, and business consulting. Like auditor will be providing you a option saying that some benefits will be providing, maintaining your accounts, maintaining your account secrets, advising your business activities. Like this, if there is anyone is providing advices, this type of businesses, they'll be charging service tax. So these are the so many taxes. I've just given you the major taxes. So like this, there are many other taxes also. So all these taxes, for each and every tax, there is one portal. Each portal. To pay a tax for VAT, there is one website. For CST, there is one website. For central VAT and excise duty, there was different portal. So to remove this cascading effect, that is, instead of filing a tax in many websites where government was not able to track what exactly this business is paying, how much he is paying, whether he is paying exactly the correct amount or he is making any other activities, whether he is paying a less amount. Okay, since we can't notice it. So when I have to track, that is when the government has to track what they have to do, if I have to find out what is this business actually engaged. Suppose if a business is engaged only in a trade, okay, then it is fine. If he is manufacturing a product, then he is making a sales, and along with that he is also providing a transportation services. So VAT, CST, SENVAT, service tax, all four taxes will be collected. And for when this person is paying a tax, he has to use different website. To avoid this so many effects, they have combined all these taxes and bought it as GST. Now, who has to collect, who has to give a tax invoice? Tax invoice. Tax invoice means a person, one who can show GST, that is charge what GST charges he can make in a sales invoices. A person, one who can charge a tax, GST taxes in sales invoices. So that person can give a tax invoices. Okay, tax invoices means a person, any business, if you're doing a business, you're selling a product or you're giving a service, sales services you're giving, in that case, you'll be charging the tax. That is called as GST tax. So you will be showing. So I sold a product for one product for 1,000 rupees. On one product, 1,000 rupees. On that 18%, 9% CGST, 9% SGST. Like this, you want to bifurcate it. So in that case, if you want to show the GST in your invoice, what you should do? So if I want to issue this tax invoice, that is where I'm showing a GST charges in my invoice, that is in my bill. In that case, I must have a GSTIN, that is Goods and Service Tax Identification Number. How will I get this number? For this, you need to go to the website gst.gov.in. Here you have to go. So here you have to apply for your GST TIN number. Then the next question is, who has to apply for this GST TIN number? Any businesses, whether he is a dealer, whether he is a trader, whether he is a service provider, any type of businesses can apply for this GST TIN number, GST identification number. Is there any limitation for this applying for this tax identification number, that is goods and service tax identification number? Is there any limitation? Yes, there is a limitation. So there are two types of dealer: regular dealer and composite dealer. Okay, regular dealer and composite dealer. Who is this regular dealer? Any dealer who is doing a business, any person who is doing a business, where is aggregate turnover. Where is aggregate turnover is up to 2 lakhs. Up to 20 lakhs. Sorry, it is not 2 lakhs, it is 20 lakh. If any person one who is getting a turnover of 20 lakhs per annum, aggregate turnover 20 lakhs, in that case this person can register for this GST TIN number. There is one more case also. If aggregate turnover, if any person one who is crossing 10 lakhs, okay, where if it is a east state means this Assam, Mizoram, all these things, Assam, Mizoram, Manipur, all these places are small state where if their turnover crosses this 10 lakhs, in that case they can register for GST TIN number. Okay, any businesses who are providing any sales or services, whoever is doing, if their aggregate turnover comes to this level, then they can apply for this. Then what about this composite dealer? Composite dealer is if any person one who is earning 1.5 crore in kind of any businesses. Majorly this will be this kind of business where it is e-commerce business. What is this e-commerce business? One who is doing a business on internet like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, IKEA. So many businesses they are doing sales they'll be doing through the online. So those type of businesses, if their aggregate turnover crossing more than 1.5 crore, then this person has to apply for this GST identification number. Now okay, this is fine, he is applying fine. Now how to apply for this? What is the step to apply this? When you go for this website www.gst.gov.in, when you go for this, let me show you through this. So I'm going for goods and service tax portal. So see, like this a website will open. Like this your website will open when you go for this website www.gst.gov.in. That is government in. When you go for this website, you have to go for this tab, services. When you click on the services, you'll find an option as registration. Under registration, you have to go for new registration. Click on this. Again, a new screen will open. There will be a three steps. For getting this GST TIN number. Okay, 3 steps. So we will see how are these 3 steps and how to do that. Let this page get downloaded. Okay, let this get downloaded. So like this, first two step will open. Third step will open after this 2 step. So what is there in a first step? User credential, which means a basic information of my company. It is not mine. Basic information of my company. What I am a GST practitioner. So which state I belongs to? It is not I belong to In which state my company is registered? It is registered in Karnataka. So in Karnataka, which district? So Bangalore, rural or urban? So I'll select urban. So now name of the GST partner, that is name of your company you have to give. So I'll give it as NICT. Okay, name of the company you have to give. So here you have to give a PAN number. It is not the personal PAN number. For company also there will be a PAN number given. When you start a business, even for company there will be a PAN number given. That PAN number we have to mention. So this is how your PAN number structure 10 digits will appear. So I'll give this 1 2 3 4 5 5 alphabets, 4 numbers and 1 alphabet. I'm just giving randomly. Okay, then you have to give your mail ID and the phone number. Both has to be valid, which is in use. After giving this mail ID and the phone number, see this captcha and type it over here. Then click on this proceed. When you click on this proceed, the mail ID and the phone number what you have given on this both, you will be getting a OTP. So in the second step, you will be verifying the OTP which you have received on your mobile as well as to your mail ID. You have to give that. So when you give this OTP verification in a second step, then it will open you the third step. It will open the third step. In third step, what it will ask you the most important information about your company. What is the name of a company? What is the address, full address you have to give. Where is the company is running? Address you have to give. Then for the address proof, you have to attach the documents. And for attaching a documents also, there is two options. Either it has to be in a JPG format or PDF format, and both has to be as per the size that is mentioned in that. It can be lesser than that, but it should not be more than that. If the size of the file is huge, more than the prescribed one, in that case, it will not get accepted. You have to compress the file size and attach it. So what type of attachment documents you will be doing is, you will attach the proof where the company is running. Suppose if a company is your company where you are running is your own address, then your address proof you have to give. What kind of address proof? Utility bills. What is utility bills? Your mobile bill where you will be getting in the name of a company, electricity bill in the name of a company, internet bill in the name of a company. Any of this you can attach it. If you're taken a place on a rent, a company is running in a rental place, then rental agreement you have to attach. And along with the rental agreement, that you must also get NOC from the landlord of the building. Okay, from the landlord, you have to get a NOC, no objection certificate. Okay, you have to get it from them and you have to attach it. This is the what they'll be asking about the company's proof. And the next type, where it will ask you what type of business you're doing, whether you're a trader or you're a service provider. If you are a trader, what type of trade? If you are a service provider, what type of service provider? And you have to accept it. There will be one more last question. It will be asking which zone of your Ministry of Company Affairs fall. So that also you have to provide. So after providing this, when you submit the details, so let me repeat the third step again. It will ask you about the company's address. For address, you have to attach the documents, and it'll ask you the nature of your business, what you're doing, whether you're a trader or you're a service provider. If you're a trader, what is your trade it is related to? If you're a service, what service you're providing, and in which zone your company falls. So those things you can get it from the Ministry of Company Affairs portal. You will get it from there. Okay, if you have started a company, then you can get it from there also. So there will be as many sources of information where you'll be getting. So after these three steps, when you proceed, when you submit this, within 5 days, you'll get a message saying that your details has been forwarded. It has been updated. So you'll get a result as early as possible. If you are getting this message within 15 days, you will get a GST identification number. Or in 5 days, if you're getting some other message, some other mail saying that the details is not sufficient, you need to provide some other proof, some other documents you have to attach. In that case, you have to attach based on the requirement, and within 15 days you'll get a GST identification number. So when you get this GST identification number, only then you can issue this tax invoices. When you get this GST identification number, only then you can charge GST in your bill. So that is what it is called as. So now regular dealer and composite dealer. Two types of dealer you will be having. Regular dealer will file the return. File the return means he has to pay the tax monthly. He has to pay monthly tax. Whereas a composite dealer will file quarterly. Okay, he'll file quarterly. And what is the due date for this monthly and quarterly? So suppose this is a month of April. April month tax I'll be paying in the next month, that is subsequent month, before 20 of subsequent month. Okay, before 20th of subsequent month. Monthly you have to pay. April month tax I'll be paying in the month of May. May month tax I'll pay in the June. June month tax I'll pay in the July, like this. And what about this quarterly? Say the first quarter is from April, May, June. So April to June you have. So April to June tax you'll file in the month of July. First quarter, July. And the due date will be 15th of subsequent quarter month. It is subsequent quarter month. That means every quarter you won't be paying. Quarter month you are paying. After one quarter, the next month you will pay. So April, May, June, first quarter, file it in the July. July, August, September, you have to pay in the October. October, November, December, we'll pay in the month of January. January, February, March, we have to file in the month of April, like this. And there is one more question I would like to ask. If I'm not crossing this limit, if I don't have a turnover 20 lakhs, I'm not a regular dealer, I'm not a composite dealer, I am going to start a company, new company. This is my new startup company. When there is a new startup company, new company, can I apply for this GST TIN number? My question I'm asking you. I have started a new company. It is a new startup company. Okay, can I apply for this GST TIN number? This is what is my question. Can anyone answer me? Just give me answer yes or no. What can I do?
You can't, ma'am.
Okay. Why?
Because your turnover hasn't crossed the limit which is being given by the government.
Okay, good. But the answer is yes, I can apply. Though I am a new startup company, even then I can apply for this GST TIN number. Even a new company can apply for this GST number. When they get that, they can also give a tax invoices. Why I gave you this turnover limit is, this is up to this. You can, if you want, you can apply it, or if you don't want, you can quit it. But when you cross this turnover, it is mandatory. When you cross this turnover, it is mandatory. But before this also, you can apply. Before crossing this turnover also, you can apply for the GST TIN number, whereas you'll become a regular dealer. Okay, still you'll become a regular dealer. Though your turnover it has not crossed, you can still apply for GST TIN number. When I have a startup company, still you can do this. So this is what a GST means. So in a GST, what are the things I'm having is, I can make a sales, that is within state, intra. Within state, we call this as intra, within state, within Karnataka, if I'm making a sales. In that case, I have a tax components, that is CGST and SGST. CGST and SGST, where it is intra, within Karnataka, within state, whichever state you're starting a company, in that particular state, if you want to apply a tax, in that case, you'll use a CGST and SGST. In case if I'm making a sales or purchases I'm doing with some other state, then we call it as interstate transaction, then it is IGST. Okay, CGST means state tax, CGST Central Goods and Service Tax, SGST State Goods and Service Tax, IGST Integrated Goods and Service Tax. And under this we have a tax rate. What are the tax rate that we have under GST? Tax rate for GST. So that is, we have a 0%. This 0% is also called as nil rated. 0% is also called as nil rated. Then we have 5%, 12%, 18%, and 24%. Sorry, 28%. These are the tax rate under GST we have. Along with this, we also have one more thing called as exempt. Exempt, no tax. No tax at all for that product. And that is no tax. Nil rated means also it is no tax but 0%. Why both are same? Why have we have given a difference? The list of product that falls under the 0 rated and exempt product, it is different. Based on item, it is different. But nil rated and exempt, no tax. Thus, we have to understand there is no tax on this. Now, when we say it as 5%, 12%, 18%, this 5% will get bifurcated into CGST and SGST as 2.5 and 2.5 percentage. If I'm making a sales within my state, if I'm making a sales when I'm making a sales with the other state, then I'll only directly charge 5%. Same way, 12% will get bifurcated into 6%, 18 as 9%, 28 as 14%. Now, next one, we have to understand how to pay tax. How to pay tax. So when how to pay this? Suppose, just let's assume that in the month of April, my total sales and purchase, we'll discuss on total. It is not one transaction. Total, I would have made a purchase from Neha, I would have made a purchase from Tanya, I would have made a purchase from some others also. Say like I have made from so many peoples, like from whomever it is. Okay, Tanya, Neha, so many peoples we have. I don't know the names, I'm sorry. So like this, I made a purchase from so many people. After making a purchase, then again I'll be making a sales also. After purchasing, I might also make a sales. So sales, I won't be making to only one person. Even here, I'll be making a sales to so many people. Like I'll be making a sales to Ashwika, Sabha, Zainab, Shabnam, any people. To any people, I'll be making a sales. Now, the total purchase is what I've made. The total purchase is what I've made, and the total sales what I've made. Depending upon that, my tax, how much I need to pay, I'll come to know. Now, purchase. Purchase means it is input. We call this as input. And sales. Sales will call this as output. Okay, sales and purchase. Now, how will I consider what is tax? Say example, in the month of April, my total purchases, okay, total purchases I made for 10,000 rupees, and there was a tax on this. Okay, there was a tax on this at 10%. At 10%. So, how much I would have collected on this 10,000? That is 10%. It is 1,000 rupees have collected. This is my tax. This 1,000 is my tax. At the same time, in the same month, my total sales was 13,000. 13,000 I made, and at the rate of 10%. 10% have made. Now, what is the tax here I have collected is 1,300. Now, what is the tax that I have to pay now? Say, how to pay the tax will be considered as output tax minus input tax. Okay, input tax equals to tax payable. This is what you are going to pay to the government, that is GST department. Now my output tax, what is my tax that I have collected? 1300 minus input tax 1000 equals to, now how much? 300. This 300 I'll pay to the GST department. Why this 1300 minus 1000 I'm minusing? Because when I make a purchase, say example, I'm making a purchase from Shabnam. I'm making a purchase from Shabnam. When I make a purchase from Shabnam, total sales in the month of April, total purchase in the month of April, I have purchased for 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees. Along with that, I paid 1,000 extra. That is tax. That is how much I've paid. 11,000 have paid. In this 11,000, 1,000 is my tax. So after this, what I made is I also made a sales. I made a sales to Merlin. I made a sales to Merlin. Now, what is happening is when I made a sales for her for 13,000 and plus tax I'm charging, so I'm getting 14,300. So 1,300 is my tax. From my pocket, I paid 1,000 to Shabnam. Okay, from Merlin, I've collected 1,300. When I've collected this 1,300 from my pocket, what I have paid, I should minus it, right? I've paid some money as tax from my pocket. So I'll minus that, and what is extra I'm getting, extra tax, what I'm having in my hand, that one I'll pay to the GST department. This one have to pay this. Okay, this is one scenario where my output is more. When my output is more, in that case, I'll be paying a tax. What if my input tax is more than my output? That is, when my purchase and sales, let me just copy this. The second situation where I made a purchase for 10,000, the tax is this much. Now, even a sales also I made for 10,000 and my tax has become 1,000. So same thing, I paid a tax 1,000, I have collected 1,000. When I do this output minus input, what will happen is I don't have any money. That is becoming 0. When this is becoming 0, should I pay a tax? Should I have to pay a tax? Then I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay the tax, but still I have to show the report saying that I have no tax to be paid. Still I have to show as nil return, 0 rupees paid. I have to show this nil return. Though I'm not paying, still have to do this. If I'm not showing this nil return, then the government will consider saying that I have a tax as to be paid, whereas I have not yet paid. I have to pay a tax, but I didn't pay. Because of that, this government, that is GST department, will charge me some fine. So fine, how much it will be is, if no tax paid, if you're not paying, no tax paid before the due date, per day, 200 rupees. Okay, it is per day. It is not one day. It is not for 1 month. It is per day. Okay, per day it will be charged 200 rupees. Along with this, there will be plus penalty. What is this penalty will be? So penalty depends upon the turnover of a company. Based on that, the penalty will be charged. Certain percentage of your turnover you have to pay. So though you don't have anything to be paid, still you have to show it as nil return. Still we have to show it as nil return. If you have something to pay, then you have to pay it. Okay. The next one is if I'm going to make this. Okay. Third situation where I'm making a purchase. Okay, I'm making a purchase for 1,000, this one. Okay, here sales I made it for 8,000. Okay, 8,000 I made here, where my tax is 800 rupees. 800 rupees. Now, what will happen when I pay a tax, output tax minus input tax? When I do this, that is, output is 800 minus 1000 equals to, so minus 200. So here, when I made a sales, I have only collected 800, but when I made a purchase, I paid 1000. That is 200 rupees extra I have paid from my pocket. Then what should I do in that case? I can claim for ITC. I can claim for ITC. What does this ITC means? Input tax credit. What I'm going to do? I'm claiming. Claiming means what? I'm asking the GST department for the refund. Saying a refund where I paid 200 extra in the month of April from my pocket. So I'll ask this GST department to pay me this 200. So this is called as ITC claiming. Claiming of refund for the money which I spent, which I paid extra from my pocket. So three situation: when my sales tax is more, I will pay the tax to the government. When my sales and purchase both are equal, I am not going to pay 1 rupee also, but still I have to show this rupees 0 paid. Third situation: when my sales is more than my purchase. In that case, I'll ask for the refund. Three situation. Okay. Now, what we will do is, we'll go for a tally and we will see how this is going to work. Okay, how to enable a GST, we will see. We'll go for a tally. This is my company, which we are already using, MCC Battery Private Limited. In the same company, I'll go for F11 features. Okay, I'll go for F11. When you press F11, you'll get this option, taxation. So under taxation, you have an option as enable goods and service tax. I'll press this yes. Okay, which state I belongs to? Karnataka. Which type of dealer? Whether I'm a regular dealer or composite dealer. I am a regular dealer. From which date you are going to start? You have registered for GST, that date, and you have to give a GST number. So I didn't say you what is this GST structure will be. So when you apply for this GST TIN number, when you get this GST TIN number, it will be of 15 digits. It will be of 15 digits, and this 15 digits is based on PAN number. Based on PAN number. What PAN number? See, when we apply in this first case, I've given a PAN number here, right? The 10 digits PAN number. Based on this, I will be getting a GST TIN number. So how I'll get this 15 digit? PAN number is having a 10 digit. How I'll get a 15 digit? So first two digit will be showing you the state code. Which state your registered company, you are having a company. That state you have to give. So each state is given the unique code from 1 to 36. 1 to 36, they have given a number. Okay, 01, 02, 03 like this. So Karnataka is having a state code as 29. 2 digits done. The next one is PAN number. Next 10 digits will be of PAN number. So let me give a PAN number. 5 alphabets, 4 numbers, 1 alphabet. Okay, so now 12 digits is done. Next, 13th digit. It will be any digit. So that will say you the entity code. Entity code depends upon your trade, whether you're service provider or trader. Okay, then any one alphabet, it will be assigned. So it is called as assigned alphabet. So I'll give like this. Okay, so 29 state code, PAN number, 1 entity code, assigned alphabet, then a check digit. Check digit. It can be an alphabet also. It can be a numeric also. I'll give it as 0. So 15 digits like this. What does this check digit belongs to? It depends on the zone which companies affairs, Ministry of Companies, which zone you fall into. It depends on that. So 15 digits like this, it will appear. This like this, you will get a GST identification number when you are applying. After registration, you will get like this. So I'll go for this now. We'll go for a Tally. Okay, now it is asking me GST identification number. Let me give this 29. 5 alphabets, 4 digits, 1 alphabet, 1 entity code, 1 assigned alphabet, and 1 check digits. So next one, see, I'm getting a warning message because I'm giving, on my assumption, I'm giving some random number. So it is not as per the defined pattern. Means structure is correct. Alphabets and numbers, what I'm providing, it might not be accepted by the GST portal. Because of that, it is showing me a warning message. Then I'll press enter now. Now, periodicity of GST returns. So how I'm going to pay the tax? Monthly I'll pay a tax, or quarterly I'll pay a tax. Since I'm a regular dealer, I'll pay monthly return. Monthly I'll pay. So here I'm having additional features to define the tax rate. So as a tax rate, I've told you about the nil rated 5%, 12%, 18%. So if I have only one single person, I can define it. When I'm having a multiple of products, multiple of tax rates, so to avoid the complication, I'll not define the tax rate here. Okay, I'm not going to define a tax rate here. I'll define in some other place where it is actually needed. So better I'll define in a stock item. So I'll avoid from this place. Okay, now after this, I'm having an invoice feature. In invoice, you have two things. In invoice, you have two things. One is e-way bill, the other one is e-invoices. What does this e-way bill represent? E-way bill is given to a person who is transporting the goods from one place to another. Suppose I'm making a sales. When I'm making a sales, I want to send my goods to the purchaser, one who is purchasing from me. I'm making a sales, there is a buyer. To his place, I have to send the goods. So I'm having a transportation facilities. I'm arranging a transportation facilities. Who has arrived now? Who's the scholar one? Just now you have joined. I don't know what's your name. Your name is showing as caller 1. Caller 01. Please rename your name so that your attendance will be fine when you will be getting attendance from the next time. Okay, so we will continue. So e-way bill is applicable when we will be giving a transportation facilities. Say I'm transporting a goods from my place to my customer, that is my buyer. When I'm transporting this, I have to give a e-way bill. What this will contain? Name of a driver who is driving the vehicle. What is the vehicle number? How many kilometers I'm going to send? What is the cost of goods? This basic information will be filled in that, and I'll be giving this to the driver. So when my total cost of goods, when it is crossing more than 50,000. Suppose I'm making a sales for 15,000, 20,000, there is no need for giving a e-way bill. If I'm making a sales for 50,000, then I have to give this e-way bill. If I'm making a sales for 75,000, then I have to give. Whenever I'm giving a bill more than 50,000, in that case, it is mandatory for giving a e-way bill. Okay, it is mandatory for giving a e-way bill. It can be anything within my state also, or when I'm making a sales to some other state also. In both the cases, 50,000 threshold limit. If I'm crossing more than 50,000, then I have to give this e-way bill. And next one is e-invoices. E-invoices when my turnover is crossing more than 200 crores. That is not 1 or 2, more than 200 crores. In that case, only then I will issue this e-invoices. So it is not directly issued from the tally. It will be linked with the GST portal. From the GST portal, you have to issue. It is not from directly. We have to link both the things, tally and this. So when I link this, what will happen is to generate this e-invoices bill from tally, it will take 6 hours. So if it will take 6 hours from tally to portal, if I have to generate. So I'll show you this later how to generate this. So you have to provide this basic information and you can accept it. I'll accept this. Again, caller 2. Okay, so I'm not having any other taxes. I'll accept this now. These are the basic things. You have to fill this. After filling this, now we will start the next step, creating a stock item. if you have already have a stock item, in that stock item, how to define the tax rate. And if you are having anybody want to say something? And we have to create the ledgers, all those things. We will see that also. Anybody having a confusions or any doubts till this introduction of GST? You can ask me before we start with the practical.
Ma'am, can you repeat the GST number, like which in the numbers denoted?
Okay. You want to make a note of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll show you the presentation. I think better you will understand in that. Okay, this one. So first two digit will be of your state code. So for Karnataka, it is 29. For Andhra, it is 30, 28 or 31, I don't know. No, I think 31. And for Tamil Nadu, it is 33. And for Kerala, it is 32. Okay, like this, you'll be having a state code. 24 is for Gujarat. Like this, each and every state will be having their code numbers. So like this, Karnataka also has a state code 29, followed by its PAN number. The next 10 digits will be of PAN number of the company, and 1 digit, that is entity number of the PAN based on a company. Assigned alphabet, it can be any alphabet that they'll be assigned. Then check digit. So this is how you will be getting a GST number. So when you will pay a tax to this GST website, have you done with this, ma?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I'll go for the next screen. So when you will be paying a tax, so what you will do is, see, you will go for this login. When you click on this login, okay, it will ask you for your login ID and the password. Login ID is this GST number, 15 digits you have to give. Password you will generate when you will be logging in first time. When you will be logging in first time, you will be providing that. Okay. I'm sorry. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll go for this. So okay, let me show you once about this thing also. So instead of making you confused, still let me just show you with the presentation also. Okay, see, I'm having a goods and service tax. As I told you, goods and service tax is of a indirect tax, and it is on which is replaced many taxes such as excise duty, VAT, service tax, so many things. And this GST has came to picture on 1st of July 2017. Okay, and the next one, these are the indirect tax that we had before GST. These are the tax which we had, and this has been replaced. As goods and service tax. Okay, so the same thing here also. See, when I'm purchasing a raw materials, so I have to pay a VAT. Okay, that is our manufacturer is uh, purchasing a material, so this buyer is charging a VAT. Again, this person after manufacturing, when he is making a sales, so again he is charging a VAT and excise duty. And this wholesaler, when he is selling to retailer, again VAT. Retail to customer, again VAT. So when for one single product, again and again, when the tax is being collected, in that case, when it finally reaches the customer, the cost of a product will become huge. Say now we have so let's take it as herself as an example. Suppose now I am making a purchase. Okay, I'm making a purchase from someone. So let's take it as I'm making a purchase from Marilyn. Okay, I'm making a purchase for 1,000 rupees. So when I make a 1,000 rupees purchase, she's charging me a tax of 100 rupees. So 1,100 I have paid. After making that, I'll manufacture a goods, and after this I'll make a sales. I'll make a sales to Sabha. So Sabha, what we will do when I'm making a sales, I'll not sell it for 1,100 plus I'll add some profit. So now what I'm doing, I'm selling her for 2,000 rupees. I'm selling her for 2,000 rupees with the VAT. Now what this Sabha will do, Sabha is again going to make a sale. So Sabha is going to make a sales to Mahi. So when she is making for sales for Mahi, what she will do, again for 2,000, she'll add her own margin, that is her profit margin. Even she needs a benefits. So now what she's making a sales, when she's making a sales to Mahi, she'll add 2,700 with the tax. Now again this Mahi is making a sales to Pooja. When Pooja is receiving this, then her cost of a product is 3,500. So like this, when it reaches finally a customer on the same product, after adding a margin plus tax, the cost of a product is becoming a huge. So because of that, to avoid this, GST has been introduced. So this is, as I told you, each and every year there was a meeting held, 2000, 2004, like this. And finally, a bill was passed in the year 2017, and it came into a picture from there. Okay, so this is just the objectives, as I said you, one nation, one country, to remove the effects of where I'll be filing a tax in different places, and to reduce that, so that when I reduce the places of paying a tax into single website, that is goods and service tax, gst.gov.in, single website when I'm giving, so everyone will have to pay a tax there itself. So the person one who is not paying a tax will also pay the tax. So where there will be a taxpayer will increase. So the government will increase more taxpayer base. Okay, more taxpayer will be increased. In that case, the government will get a lot of income. So that is what it is mentioned here. And the components, as I told you, CGST, SGST, and IGST. CGST and SGST, when we are making a sales with the other state or within state. CGST and SGST is used when I'm making a sales or purchase within my state. IGST is used when I'm making a sales with other state. Sales or purchase when I'm making with the other state. In that case, I'll be using this IGST. So the same thing here also I've given. So the same thing has been repeated. Now, as I told you about the margin, when wholesaler to retailer, retailer to it is going. So finally, before GST, so the cost of a product is becoming 2,244. And after GST, the cost is becoming 1,980. So where the cost is getting reduced, the GST has reduced this effect. So because of that, we are using GST. So this is a GST structure, identification number. So this I have told you already about this ITC, that is input tax credit, how to pay, when to pay. So due date, monthly return, quarterly return. ITC, how to collect the tax, size of a business, crores and lakhs. This I have told you. So written form, this I have not told you. This I'll be telling when we will be doing in a practical. And new compliances under GST, again this one. E-way bills, this I've told you about when you're crossing a bill value more than 50,000, then you have to do this. And e-invoices, when you're crossing your total turnover more than 200 crores, but officially it is said as 500 crores. Okay, more than 500 crores if you are making anything in a turnover, in that case you will be doing. So but it is also says as aggregate turnover and it is crossing 100 crores also. So usually it will be a 200 crores, both are same. It is based on the financial year advice. So 200, 500, 100. So whenever you're crossing such things, you have to issue this e-invoices. What this e-invoices will have is the same thing. When you're giving a sales bill, the same details will contain. Along with that, there will be some additional details. Additional details, that is QR code will be given. That is the only thing. Only thing is QR code will be added and digital signature has to be used for that. So that is the only benefits they have given in an e-invoice. So QR code, why we will be giving, when I give an invoice, the other person can scan that code and he can pay the tax. So he can pay me the amount, pay me the bill For that, they have given this option. So nothing, without QR code also we can issue a bill. Okay, any doubt till here? So anybody having a doubt, please tell me.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then guys, let me stop for today with the introduction. Practical things we will see tomorrow. If I start with a practical, I think you might get confused. Okay, is that fine? Or you want
Yes,
me to
ma'am.
continue? Okay, then I'll stop for now. We'll see tomorrow. Okay, guys, everyone practice well. If any doubts, please let me know. Okay, okay, then bye, guys. Good night. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.